Preventing an oral herpes outbreak is key. In this video, we will discuss everything you need to know about preventing an oral herpes outbreak, also called a cold sore, because we all know about that stigma or potential embarrassment someone could have if they get that infamous cold sore. Many times when someone gets a cold sore, it may feel like there's a big old arrow pointing at the cold sore continuously, making it a much bigger issue than it really is. Or you may have that feeling that a cold sore is coming on at the worst possible time, like a date, an interview, some big event, and you're thinking to yourself, in this video, we will discuss some natural ways to prevent an oral herpes outbreak, also called a cold sore. Then we're going to talk about some prescription medications that a lot of providers like to prescribe to patients who really need it. Both prevention techniques have their pros and cons, but you should always consult with your primary care provider because if you do get these episodes frequently, it can not only play a physical toll, but a mental toll. That's why in this video, we are focused on how to prevent a cold sore from occurring. With that being said, let's dive in. Hey YouTube family, welcome back. It's great to see you. If you like this video and you want to support my channel, please like and subscribe below. If not, maybe next time. A cold sore can certainly be embarrassing, but don't be ashamed or embarrassed because this is very common. Around 70% of people are positive for the herpes simplex virus. That's billions of people worldwide who are positive for the herpes simplex virus, so don't be ashamed. So if your coworkers or your family or your friends are talking trash, just remember they're probably positive and just don't know it. But many people do develop cold sores, and the big question is, what are the best ways to prevent a cold sore from occurring? And that's a very common question that I get personally in clinic. With that being said, let's first talk about the natural ways to prevent a cold sore from occurring. Avoid intense sunlight or prolonged exposure. This is important for a lot of people because simply intense sunlight could spark an oral herpes outbreak for some people. Now, what can you do for that? Wear a nice big hat for sun protection, wear some sunscreen. Also, avoid the sun during peak times like 10 a.m. through 4 p.m. So sometimes I get the question, don't we need sunlight? And we do need sunlight, especially for vitamin D, right? But these days we do have supplements for vitamin D, and we also have foods that are fortified with vitamin D. Now don't get me wrong, everybody should be going outdoors. It's overall great for your wellness, but you also have to remember that you gotta wear that sun protection, especially if you're getting those oral herpes outbreaks that's due to intense sunlight. Also, you wanna protect against skin cancer. Reduce your chances of getting sick. This is incredibly important because when people develop a viral or a bacterial illness, this stresses the body both mentally and physically and ultimately could lead to a cold sore to develop. The good news is adults don't get sick as often as infants or children, so the main thing you really need to focus on is making sure you're washing your hands, making sure you're taking care of your body, and making sure you stay away from sick individuals. Number 3. Manage emotional stress. This is a big trigger for a lot of people and one of the most difficult things to address. But if somebody is finding that excessive stress is triggering their cold sores, it is pivotal that they manage their stress appropriately. Overall, that's one of the best things anyone can do in order to prevent a cold sore from occurring is managing stress. That means making sure you're getting plenty of exercise, making sure you're eating healthy foods, making sure you're getting enough sleep, making sure you're managing your stress at work, and most importantly, making sure you're managing your stress at home as well. It's easier said than done, but that is a huge way to prevent cold sores from popping up. So I'm gonna tell you a little secret. Some people just don't know the triggers of their cold sores. So a good thing to do is about 48 to 72 hours before that cold sore popped up, create a log of everything that you did. That includes what you drank, what you ate, the stress at your job, how much sleep you got, everything. And that way, each cold sore that you get, you're able to log all that information. And sometimes you can pinpoint a trigger just based on that data. I really want you to pay attention to this, folks. A lot of people try to take advantage of your vulnerabilities. They come out with these supplements stating that they cure herpes or they treat herpes very quickly, and these supplements are not FDA approved, meaning they don't monitor any of the ingredients that come in these supplements. So a lot of times they can be harmful to you. So if you have any questions about potential treatments, always chat with your primary care provider. Also, many of these supplements have different vitamins and minerals that can be found in normal daily foods. So if you eat a good diet, it's really pointless. But honestly, let me know of any supplements that you heard about in the comments below, because I like to hear about them because some of them are pretty crazy. Next, we're going to talk about prescription options to prevent those cold sores from appearing. Prescribing medication in general should always be the last resort. People should always seek natural pathways in order to solve various healthcare problems like eating good foods, exercising, managing stress. These are all important things to prevent, especially cold sores. We talked about a lot of the ways to prevent cold sores the natural way, but sometimes people will need a prescription. And usually these should be a last resort, but some people have either severe episodes or frequent episodes, and they also tried the natural pathways and failed. For these people who are seeking prescription medication to prevent their cold sores, always consult with your primary care provider and talk about the risks, the benefits, and the alternatives to figure out what treatment is best for you. If you're a female, consider reducing your menstrual cycles if this triggers a cold sore. Many times women can correlate their cold sores with their menstrual cycles. That means they are having over 10 episodes, 10 outbreaks per year. Some women in these cases could start a birth control to reduce the amount of cold sores that they do have. They can consider oral birth control, intrauterine devices, an implantable birth control, or even an injectable birth control. But they always want to consult with their primary care provider and talk about all the risks and benefits of starting something like that. One technique that providers like to use is prescribing valcyclovir or acyclovir, which are antivirals, on an as-needed basis, meaning a patient will have symptoms of tingling or pain around the vermilion border, and then they take the medication right away. This may not be a prevention technique, but if taken immediately when those symptoms develop, it could actually prevent a cold sore or reduce the symptoms significantly. Most people choose to go this route if they only have a few episodes per year. Prescription treatment option number 2. Next is chronic suppressive therapy using antivirals. So those medications that we talked about, the Valtrex and the acyclovir, what happens is some people really have severe disease or frequent episodes throughout the year. That means they may need chronic suppressive therapy. This is a medication, again the Valtrex and the acyclovir, that you take daily, and these are lower dosage. Again, some people can get physically and emotionally distressed by all these outbreaks, and sometimes all this stress can cause more cold sores to pop up. As a result, this may be an option for them, but these people should always consult with their primary care provider and talk about the pros and cons. If you have time today and you like this video or you want to support my channel, please like and subscribe below. That wraps up today's video on how to prevent cold sores. Until next time, take care.